What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Steelers Rewind here with Steelers on Penn Live. And folks, well, cut down days here. We don't have the full cuts yet. We did hear Kyron Johnson's getting cut, in my opinion. As we talked about yesterday on Steelers Breakdown, this was a guy that deserved to be on the roster, but I understand why they did. Looks like DeMarvin Leal is going to get a look at fourth outside linebacker. Good news for Julius Welshaw and Jeremiah Moon too, but both of those guys are banged up. So a little interesting, just kind of a little tidbit there. Kind of wondering what they're going to do at outside linebacker, but the ricochet effects, the ripple effects of that are probably going to be 5 outside linebackers, Mark Robinson and Tyler Matakevich, both on the team, and 7 defensive linemen. I think you'll see them keep Isaiah Loudermilk, Dean Lowry, any of those guys that you thought might have been on the fringe of the roster. Do not expect them to be anymore. But let's talk about some things we heard today. Didn't talk to too many people today. Had availability coming off the field, so obviously that limits the ability to get more people. But the people we did get today, Broderick Jones, Connor Hayward, Justin Fields. 3 pretty important players. But Broderick Jones today, I thought, had the biggest news of today, being asked where does he expect to play week 1, and he said he expects to play at right tackle. That's kind of where he's been working since Troy Fautano went down. Troy Fautano is still not healthy, so naturally, if you're going to play right tackle for 3 straight weeks, Troy Fautano still is not ready to come back yet. Where do you think you're going to play? Probably at right tackle. So that's where it kind of seems like things are going right now. We've talked about Broderick Jones in the past just at length here. I think he's going to be more comfortable on the left side. I think he's got a lot of technical leaps that he needs to make. I think the elbow is bothering him. There are so many factors working here. If Fautano is healthy, who are going to be the starters? I think that's a really big question. I'm still not sure he's going to play. The closer we get and the less time he has to practice, I'm not sure that they're going to start him week 1. They might start him early in the season, but week 1, I'm not sure. And Dan Moore's had a good preseason, but we know what Dan Moore is. We have seen his tape over the past few years. So we'll kind of see where this goes. But Broderick Jones saying he expects to play at right tackle. So that's interesting and something to note. And then Justin Fields talked about how they haven't really heard the outside noise at quarterback. Him and Russell Wilson have been focusing on what is inside the building, leading the guys, focusing on the competition. Good mentality to have. They probably do hear some of it, but you don't want to let it wallow you. You don't want to let it get into your head, and I think that's the right mentality to have. The coverage from the outside doesn't matter as much as what happens inside. And Justin Fields, he has done enough to, even if he doesn't get the starting spot, and we expect him to not get the starting spot, of course, we've talked about this at length, how we expect Russell Wilson to be named the starting quarterback. Justin Fields has at least done enough to give the Steelers confidence that if Russell Wilson struggles and they need to turn to him, they can. And so I think that's something that he can take solace in, even though he's probably not going to be the starter. Talked about the errant snap with Zach Frazier. I thought this was interesting. They were running silent count. We thought they were running silent count, and they were. It was a miscommunication between Anderson, Fields, and Frazier. So it was silent count, and they changed the protection. And so Spencer Anderson was tapping Zach Frazier to get with the program. He hadn't heard Justin Fields change the protection, but he thought the tap on his leg was a signal to snap in. So that's what happened there. It hit his hand, of course, and it was an errant snap, and that was something that has to get cleaned up. First time on the road, so it was the first time they had done silent count. Something to clean up as well. We're going to see more cuts today. 26 more cuts coming. They're going to have a lot to do. There's some outside targets we'll talk about probably on Steelers Breakdown later today. I think a lot of intriguing outside candidates that they could go out and get. Guys like Noah Brown, Tim Patrick that are going to be out there at wide receiver. Miles Boykin's out there. James Pierre has been cut at corner. So lots of intriguing names out there that the Steelers could look at. They're going to be very active over the next 24 hours. Folks, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and check out more.